Hi everybody, my name is Cayden from Why Does It Burn Studios.
Hello, I am Christian from WDIB Studios.
Hi, I'm Omar, and my antivirus sucks dick. Go.
Today we are playing Wicked Vengeance. I have not played this yet.
Yeah, Christian, Omar, and I, we were part of this development, especially during early on. We were heavily invested in it, but I made this map, and Christian had never played on this map, so we're just checking things out. I want to see how he reacts to it all. So let's get down to business here. What was it like early development? What did you guys think about this project while we were developing it early on?
It started out pretty fun to make. I enjoyed it. As we went along, it just kind of, I don't know, veered off in a direction that I got a little bit less interested in.
Well, I mean, this whole thing kind of started with Christian contacted me and asked, "Hey, I want to make a game that's like an hour long that we can just expand on in the future." And so just pitch any ideas. And I did. I pitched a very, very different version from how it is right now.
I was brought on. Hey, you won. Good job. You're already there. I have no ending for this, by the way, guys. I didn't set it up to make the next level, so now you can just explore and try not to die. Look up. Look at all that. All right. There's another skull in the corner there. Yeah. So, ooh, he's getting out of the map. Oh boy. So, for me, when I was brought in, yeah, I was told kind of the same thing. Hey, let's make something that's small that we can all work on together, and expand on it over time. And so, I was doing my job, and it was the first time I'd ever even touched Unreal Engine. I had to actually download. It wasn't the first time I ever touched it, because I had touched it previously, but all I did was make a couple of models and import them in. So, it was a very different experience actually using blueprints and making things, and it was my first time, and I did learn a lot from it. As for the direction change, the project was dead for about, how long was it? Was it a month?
I'm gonna say 2 months.
Yeah, for Solar Hall.
Yeah, it was
stopped a little bit before that.
Yeah, it was about 2 months, because then 3 weeks ago I brought in the surprise update boys. Yeah, and so I decided to do a direction change where it was pretty much have a very simple AI that runs around. If it finds you, it chases you, what we already had, and remove the complexities from it, and then just have the player navigate their way around the AI to the end. And of course, something like this congested cave style, I don't think actually works. But it's something of that nature, where the player is running around in an area avoiding this one thing, just trying to get to the end so that you can get your reward and then move on to the next thing.
Right.
So that was the basic idea. I was originally going to have a lever right here where you would have to pull the lever to... ooh, does that not have any collision? Oh.
It does not indeed.
Well, there I go. I can fix that in one click. But yeah, so my whole idea was just making something that we could simply design maps for and release for monies, without people feeling like they were being gypped or whatever. You might have to restart, Christian. I was supposed to put the death function there as well. I told you guys I got a little on the lazy side there, but yeah, that's what it looks like on the outside. So where the project is going right now, currently it's just kind of floating around, I think. I think that I'm just because I'm really right now the only one that's just throwing things in there. So I'm just gonna keep throwing whatever's in there. It's good practice for me to keep getting better with the engine, but also to see if we can get a direction in the future where we're all on board with it again, if the case may be. What do you guys think about where this project is heading, where it's going?
I've kind of just let go of the reins and let it take its natural flow, and that natural flow is you. And so that's kind of what my plan is at this moment. It's definitely a much different direction than we originally thought it was going to be. Maybe for the better, it might be. Hopefully for the better. But
Hopefully. Yeah.
yeah,
I
exactly.
spent a lot of time working on all this stuff.
Yep, exactly. Me, not so much. I enjoy more of the logic side of things mostly.
Yeah.
And so once we get to these like lower levels, building levels and stuff in that sort, not really the biggest fan. It's not really my
Yeah.
thing.
We're the exact opposite because I actually hate doing logic, but I like building the levels.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect team right there. You and me.
Though I have to say though, building levels with Unreal is definitely different from what I'm used to because I'm used to actually being able to handle individual polygons. Um, whereas Unreal's terrain editor is still a little bit tricky for me. And for example, I would have actually handled the entire way that I made this map very differently. But I stayed within what Unreal is good with, and so I used the segmented pieces from really I think day one of us all being on a team developing. I used those segmented wall pieces and just made something out of it. I had to edit them a little bit though because the AI wouldn't run through the doors.
Not big enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, if you click P, you'll just see how small the sliver is that it allows.
P.
Yeah, so you can see the
Version.
the AI navigation path.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's not gonna
nice.
work because I'm not in the. There we go.
Gotcha.
Hmm. I see.
And
Yeah, you can increase the accuracy and stuff. Anyways,
Dred, so what do you think? Where do you think the project is going? Do you think it's ever going to get anywhere? Or nah?
I think I want it to not get canceled, so whatever it takes.
All right. Um. So what else do you guys want to talk about in reference to this project before we head out?
it was. Oh, go ahead.
Are we gonna call it not Wicked Vengeance?
I think that's going to be the forever holding title until we come up with the full concept and something that
Because I
we're
think we
really
should
ready to
just
dish out.
I think we just keep it called that.
All right.
Just go bananas. Who cares anymore?
That's what I like to
And
hear.
and that's for you, Christian.
You know, this project, what it'll always be, no matter what type of development shenanigans goes through, is the first project that kind of got us all together.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's what I'll remember this. It'll forever go down in history as the game that is not Wicked Vengeance, because no one likes that name besides me.
It's a bad name, Christian.
It's a bad name. What
Apparently.
view mode is this?
This is light map density,
This is Predator
Oh,
Vision.
which is,
all
yeah,
right.
it's pretty much Predator vision. And so, like, red's not very good, green's alright, blue's really good.
So pretty
Yeah.
much everything that I've imported sucks when it comes to light map density.
Ah, no, well, it's not a big deal. I want to see if I can find. There we go. There we
Ooh,
go.
what is that?
What the fuck?
This is shader complexity.
No, this is LSD.
It's similar.
No, I don't think most of my shaders are going to be very complex.
Well,
Shader says otherwise.
it's because they stack. That's why.
Mm.
So, like, if I kind of change the angle, you can see some of these turn different
green.
colors. Yeah.
All right, this is a strange mode. I've never seen this. As for me, for this part here, I mean, not only did I learn a lot about Unreal Engine, not only did I learn a lot about making blueprints and stuff, but mostly because especially during these last 2 or 3 weeks, I did an art sprint, and so all these terrible shader looking things were all, except for the pine trees and those big rocks. Most of the other art was made by me. That disgusting looking grass, all those shrubs, the terrible looking vines, the bushes, those flowers, which I'm not proud of. They were all made by me, and also that rock wall, which I think I did a decent job with the texture. But so, I just think that I was very happy to actually be a part of this when it came to doing that art sprint because it really helped me improve as an artist, finding new things to do, and especially working with Blender, trying to figure out new ways to work with Unreal using Blender. And then also using my own version, because when I used to do stuff with World at War, I would used to make something, call it a prefab, and set it up. And I learned that you could do that with blueprints. So those palisade walls on around the back corner before you just turn it into LSD mode again was those are blueprints, and there's a lot of just regular blueprints in there that have no function other than to provide structure.
Right.
Well, I mean, a cool thing, real quick, to be kind of look at what this project used to be.
Are we gonna go back over to the unified test map?
I mean, it'd just be a sharp contrast to see what it used to be.
It
Yeah.
used to be a narrative game where you just like have a start and end. Yeah.
Yeah, with this new version that I pitched, I did cut out the narrative portion. So the old one was definitely a more narrative heavy game idea, and it was also supposed to be a little spookier. Thus, everything is dark.
Yep. And it kind of had. Ooh, ooh.
And of course, the AI back then didn't have the light
And it killed him.
on his head. But let's talk about how the old AI was supposed to function, because he was supposed to sprint at you, but he was only able to move. He was only supposed to be able to move in one direction. And so the challenge is, if the monster saw you, you would just, you would get out. Yeah, the burrows. There's the burrows, and there's also the climbable trees.
I'm not sure which of these are climbable.
The one that has the one that's just a square. Oh God, he's got you.
Locked on.
He's like, it's okay. He has a looping issue. He'll run into his next objective soon.
Climb! Climb! Which button is it to climb?
Yeah, you click E. I changed it. It was one of the last things that I changed before we officially before we started just delaying it. But when you click E and then you just hold up, and then you would go up. Now I didn't know how to do the other stuff at the time, and so that's how you would climb the trees. You just hold up and you go up in notches, and then if you hold A or D, you can go around the tree. But it's very, yeah, it wasn't necessarily the best. We were learning. Whoa! What just happened? What did you do? What did you do?
Where am I?
I don't know. I've never seen this happen. You're probably falling back to the map. Yeah, you're falling back to the map.
Oh, I'm dead. I hit kill Z.
Oh, so you fell under the map.
Wow.
What?
That is something I've never seen before.
No, I've never seen that either. Christian, you broke it.
Our exclusive first look at the official end of the game. Roll credits.
Roll credits.
Amazing. All right.
But yeah, so as for this project, when it comes into being, oh, that's weird. This project coming into being, this is like super LSD. As for this project being on the Why Does It Burn channel. There's gonna be updates for it, but they're gonna be coming in few and far between because it's not going to be our primary project. It's just something that we're kind of doing on the side. We'll test out some conceptual stuff, or we'll do some art practice or something like that. We throw it in here, and eventually it'll mold into something, but for now there's no real direction for it. We are going to be working on another project very soon that will have some more direction, but until that time.
And the new one should just be a bunch of experience and fun and doing random stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean,
say,
unlike the other one where, unlike these ones where you have to craft the AI and the sound design in order to make it fun, the other one it's all player intuitive, so it's gonna be fun to test and fun to make. Hopefully.
And that is always the hope.
Now that's cool. I got lazy on the UV unwrapping. It's pretty obvious, but
Oh.
I got very lazy on the UV unwrapping. I in Blender you can just smart UV unwrap, which means it makes its own seams and it does its own thing, and that's what I did.
I never knew those little fucking. I never knew those animals could have Down syndrome, but
There it is. No, what this animal is supposed to be, it's a mixture of a gorilla, a goat, and an australopith. So.
What now?
Australopith. Australopithecus afarensis.
Of course. Now I know what that is.
Look it up. And I actually, if you looked at the teeth for the molars, I used the gorilla dentation for the molars. You see, you would think that I didn't do the UV mapping on that, but I did. That's why the grass looks like it does.
I see. It's very beautiful.
Thank you.
I wonder if there's anything in here that you can see that is properly.
UV unwrap. Well, no, that one is UV unwrap because it was just one image. For example, if you look at the oh, so you're going to yours. I could have used that bridge for something. I just realized that.
Also not properly done. But it doesn't matter because it's all just a brown texture. So it doesn't matter.
I think one that did I try to UV unwrap that one? We kind of UV unwrapped. No, we didn't UV unwrap the truck for Han Solar Hall. We just made a bunch of boxes. I textured it. I remember we made a bunch of boxes.
Yeah. We didn't have much time. Didn't worry.
Yeah, I mean, it came out as it came out. I was happy.
Yeah, it doesn't have normal maps or anything.
Yeah.
There was never a high poly, so there was never a point.
You know, I actually didn't think about doing normal maps for foliage until this recent art spree. And so now, with exception to that disgusting looking grass, everything else has its own normal maps. These have displacement maps, which you're looking at right now. Which are a little harder to make in GIMP than I thought they would be. Those are blueprints, so you have to go into the model. They're a little. You have to think a little more when you're making the.
Wow.
The thing, but.
That UV map even goes off of the space.
Well, I don't know how it does it in Unreal, man. I look at it in Blender, and when it looks good in Blender, I export it.
Yeah.
I see.
No results for that animal you just invented, Cayden.
Let me type it up.
This nice and low poly mesh.
Yeah, it's a low poly mesh, but it has the it has displacement maps, so it's got tessellation on it. That's why it's.
That makes sense.
Do you think I did that myself?
Well,
Cayden, you know how it's supposed to be spelled? Like this.
It's not supposed to be spelled as NASCAR.
You guys.
All right. So anyway, I'm thinking that we've got everything that we need in here, and then we rambled on for a little bit extra. Any last things you guys want to say before we head out?
It was an honor working with you guys.
Bang.
Wait, what did
Tat-tat.
Fred say? Did he just say bang?
Yeah, like he shoots himself.
Oh. Oh, it's terrible. I'm gonna say that I can't wait to start showing off the next project whenever we get an update-worthy update.
Yep,
So,
I agree.
yeah. Until next time, I'm Cayden.
I'm Christian.
I'm Omar. Same bat time, same bat channel.